This is the woman. She's an influencer. She's a TikTok influencer. Her name is Natalia Armstrong. She's 23 from London, and she says she's been tanning in a tanning bed for years. Now, those are dangerous. They say not to use those. Boy, they were really, really in fashion in the 80s.
Well, I think,
but not anymore.
I think people. No, they're still.
Are people using them?
Yeah, they do. But I do think more people now spray tan.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, but there are places around us that have the tanning beds.
Do you think that the spray tan looks natural enough, to people, or do they want? Why would you ever use a tanning bed because of the warnings against them if the spray tan looks as good?
I would bet the people who tan would say no, it doesn't look as good as a tanning bed.
Probably looks too artificial.
Yeah,
So if you had to rank, straight sun best.
Yeah.
Best tan?
Yeah, I think
probably.
And then bed, and then the spray on?
Well, I'm confused over that. That's my guess. Yes. Otherwise, if you could get it with a spray on to look as good as the sun, then I mean that's a lot. It's easier, really, and you don't have to spend as much time.
Yeah, but it's messier.
It is.
And I don't know how often you have to respray.
Wouldn't you think less? Well, I don't know either.
I don't know.
Does the shower? How does it?
And if I'm not
off?
mistaken, if a spray tan takes a day or two to set in correctly, right?
Probably.
You look real tan at first, and then it kind of fades. Yeah,
is that how it works?
Nikki Glaser.
Yes.
The comic.
Yes.
She recently hosted the Globes.
Yeah, the Golden Globes.
So she spray tan for that. I'm a big fan of hers and I follow her on the social.
She said she admitted.
Oh, she's upfront about it.
Okay.
She's been spray tanning for years.
Yeah.
And sometimes she'll show pictures. It gets all over her hands.
Yeah.
Like the palms of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
If you inadvertently wipe something.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're still damp.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that one bit. Well, this woman, her name is again Natalia Armstrong, and about a week and a half ago, she went on the usual for her, a 20-minute sunbed where she was in the tanning bed for 20 minutes. But a friend of hers had said, if you want a deeper, better tan, go flip and go where you usually put your feet, put your head, and vice versa.
Tanning bed hack.
Instead of, because they have an outline of a body on the tanning bed and say head here, feet here.
Yeah. Are you the only human in this building who's been inside a tanning bed? I know you're the only one in this room. I've never been in one.
No, I haven't either. I have a problem closing them.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I didn't want to say anything.
No, yeah.
Like a panini press.
Yeah.
Get a real and even tan.
Yeah, I bet you would get it. Yeah, you're like a.
It's half in, half out.
Exactly.
You'd be
His
like
left profile is magnificent.
Unbelievable.
You'd be like the black and white cookie. Your good side.
Hey, it is what it is.
That's
okay.
right. Okay, that's it. That's right. It's why you could never be a member of a pit crew in NASCAR. You cannot slide under the car.
He can only get his shoulders under in his head, sir.
Yep. Well, we can't use him. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You could be what if you were the best in the business, like at spark plugs, but you can't get it. You can't use it.
Can't get under there.
No, you can't. So anyway, this woman was told by her friend.
So they design them head and feet?
I didn't know that, honestly. I
thought the lights were the lights.
Me too. The reason I went in, now this is the 80s, but I was a teenager and I was trying, to impress women, girls. And my friend Trick told me, he's like, man, I got a tanning bed at my house if you want to come by and use it. I was like, all right, I'll use it.
Yeah, the only thing that's weird is my dad says you have to record yourself.
Okay. There was that.
And for sanitary reasons, you must be naked.
He told me that. He said,
what's he doing with the bed at his house?
He rented out his basement. He would sell it. That was back when you
Those
go to
were
his house.
expensive.
Yeah, he bought it, but he would sell.
In high school?
Oh no, he was not. He was not a. He was older than me. He was an adult. I worked with him in barbecue, and he was the assistant manager.
Okay.
He was the assistant manager at the barbecue place.
None of this sounds weird at all.
And
You're the first guy we've ever had in here.
He said to me, do you want a great tan? And I said, you read my mind.
How did you know?
I remember exactly like it was yesterday. We were hovered over the dip. And he said, man, you can get a great.
You got a farmer's tan.
Yeah. He told me, he's like, you got a farmer's tan. And he goes, you want to even that out? I said, boy, do I. And he said, come over to my place. I'll give you a half-price tanning bed. And I said, all right. So I went after hours, and he opened the tanning bed for me. I got in. That was
but
it.
there was irrespective head, feet. It didn't matter which way you
Not
climbed
that
in.
I recall.
I always thought the lights were just the lights.
Me too.
Yeah.
He gave me instruction, but I don't think he said lay here, lay there, whatever.
Is there a lapse in time where you don't remember?
Yeah.
Like, like suddenly you went at 6, but then you woke up like on his couch and like, oh, it's at midnight.
Did you hear muffled voices behind the paneling?
Oh, you guys have.
It's like you were there.
You guys have been. You know what? Yeah, you know what it's like.
Trick's
well,
place.
Well, Trick said, "Look, you're not going to remember this." And I was like, "All right, well, that makes sense."
I
you
figured
wake up,
not.
man, you'll be a bronze god.
Yeah, and that made sense to me. It's like, well, you're never going to remember.
Just go in
this.
there, close your eyes, lay
Yeah.
down.
Take your clothes off and lay down. I said, "All right,
Don't worry, we'll do the rest.
Right.
What? Nothing.
Here, put these on your eyes.
It was great. It was such a great
It's the one part of your
Yeah.
body they protect. The tiny little, remember the little,
Oh, the eyes.
Oh,
little
yeah.
eye protectors?
Yeah, I wore those. Yeah, that's right.
I guess they're still around.
Right. It was weird. I got to work the next day, and people were like, "What'd you do last night?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't have any."
You look like a raccoon. Oh, man, he'd been tricked.
You fell for the tanning bed thing, didn't you? What?
You get your own tanning bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the guy you replaced, too. Anyhow, I don't recall any, like, put your head here, put your feet here, but maybe there was.
So the young
Oh,
English
this
lady
woman. Yeah,
puts
this
her,
woman.
she flipped it up.
She flipped it up, and everything was fine. But then that night, she started to notice her face started to feel real tight, like she was getting a sunburn. And by the middle of the night, she couldn't sleep, and she got up, and she had blisters all over her face. Her lips were cracked and swollen. There are apparently different levels of power from the
There's
rays.
face lights and feet lights.
There's face
Yeah.
lights and feet lights. So what wound up happening to her was she got all sorts of issues on her face, but even worse, her hands started. Now, I don't know why that would be. Your hands would be roughly the same place, you'd think. But her hands started to swell, and she went to the hospital the next day, and they said they had to cut her rings off of her. They had to because her hands are swollen
Good
so
Lord.
much. And so they said that if you hadn't come in, you probably would have lost one finger. That literally, because she said you were like 12 hours from not being able to take.
God, it was a chicken
this
finger.
She had the chicken finger, and they got it. They finally were able to cut the rings off
Does
of
she
her.
need grafts? Will she recover?
No, she's going to recover from that. They gave her antibiotics for the swelling, and they were able to provide her with a cream to get rid of the blisters. Now, she still has the lingering effects. This was 2 weeks ago. But she says horrific. So
News to me.
So she's telling everyone. She's trying to use her platform. She has like 140,000.
Don't fall for the hack.
Do not fall for the tanning bed hack. It is put your feet where your feet are supposed to go. Don't mix up head and feet because there's different power in that. Very odd. And she has cold sores now all over her lips.
Wow.
Ugh.
It's terrible. She said it's been very, very painful. She's told though that luckily her burns will heal on her face. Terrible look. Now, it was really bad. I didn't know that would happen.
And you don't put any lotion on, right, when you go into a tanning bed?
No, Trick said he'd do that for me.
Yeah. Should I go ahead and put lotion on now? No, it's all part of the thing we do. All
I
part
brought
of the process.
Coppertone. We don't use Coppertone. Where we're going, you don't need
You don't
don't
need
need
it. You don't need it. I'll bet you the oils would mess up the bed.
Maybe.
Do you think? I don't know.
Possibly.
I really don't know. Again, I only did it once, 1987.
Yeah.
And I have,
Were you the king of the hall the next day at school?
the high fives I got. Like, yeah. They were like, oh my God, I look great.
Who's that?
I look like, they were like, is that George Hamilton coming down the hall? Dated reference.
Ask your mom.
Yeah, ask your grandma who George Hamilton is. Very tan.